and maybe the Board of Aldermen, and maybe one or two others. We had appeared, representatives of this conference had appeared before all of those organizations, including the hotel men and the restaurant men. We had appeared before all of these organizations, presented our requests, discussed them with them, and they have them under consideration. Some of them immediately very early made an indication of their reaction to these proposals. Fortunately for us, the Chamber of Commerce, being among the first groups before which we appeared, at the conclusion of that conference, made a public statement in which it approved of the report relative to the opening up of public facilities, public accommodation facilities to everybody without racial restrictions. That resolution called upon the business people in that field to take that steps in the interest of the welfare of Atlanta. And they went further and expressed approval of the request that larger opportunities be given to Negroes in employment and upgrading them in the fields in which they presently are, and to afford them an opportunity for higher service than those in areas than they had theretofore had apart. And it further decided that it would cooperate with all groups and any group and organization that was interested in the handling of any of those problems mentioned in those 8 areas of concern. Those areas being, of course, in the matter of education, health, housing, political activity, public housing, public accommodations, as well as employment. They expressed a willingness to have representatives from that chamber as individuals to serve on committees of any organization upon request that was interested in any of the problems set out in Action for Democracy. Because of the urgency of some of the matters to which we call these groups' attention, we deemed it necessary also to handle without the necessity of all the trouble to which it is necessary to go in order to get relief therefrom. It was a well-represented group, maybe about 100 were in attendance upon this group, and the action was, while there might have been some division of some opinion in some areas, yet upon the essential things there was almost unanimity with reference to the matters with which we are concerned. It was understood that it would be held between now and the 15th of the month.
Would this be something in fact similar to the March on Washington?
Yes, something on that order. And we are sure that it'll be quite as orderly in its deportment as was the Washington crowd. Well, of course, it is difficult to estimate, but since we're asking the ministers of all the churches to encourage their congregation to come, and whenever possible that they would lead them, we would naturally expect there ought to be many thousands there. Well, that is our hope, that none such will take place.
But Colonel, I'd like to comment on that.
Yeah.
And that is this, that in the organization of the summit conference itself, it was understood that this is more or less a coordinating group, and any individual group has the right to initiate action in accordance with the program and in compliance with its own methods of going forward. Now, I think at the point of unity that we have, that if one of the cooperating organizations were to attempt a demonstration, the summit conference would certainly be in support of what they would do.
The personnel board of the city, there's a meeting scheduled with them next Monday. And that will about conclude all whom we had planned to contact.
Of course, Colonel, is this, that each one of these
Any date by which you would hope the city had?
No deadlines were considered. And I think it's only fair to say that on a whole, we did receive respectful and in most instances cordial, we were received respectfully and cordially by the various groups before which we appeared.
Did all groups attending today indicate
Well, that was a general consensus of opinion that they should. And although we say you can't absolutely bind all of them, but the prevailing opinion was that the thing to do was to pursue the course that I have just mentioned before anything else was considered, see.